Hello and welcome to the Pixie Dust Designs YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted, here on YouTube, and today I am going to show you how to assemble the pull-out gift box. I have to tell you, this is one of the most unique boxes, well-engineered boxes I have put together. It's really fabulous, and I think you're gonna find a lot of uses to it, and it may seem a little bit tricky to begin with, but once you watch me do this the one time, and especially after you've done it once for yourself, you're going to see just how easy it truly is. And you're gonna want to make a lot of these because I think you can gift a lot of different things in them. So I have die cut all of the box pieces out of 100-pound cover weight solid color cardstock. I do like to use a heavyweight cardstock for my box bases, just so that everything is really nice and sturdy and it has a lot of structure to it. And that's why I'm going through and reinforcing all of the score lines that the die does put in place for you. And all I'm doing, what I mean by that is I'm just scoring right over top the exact same score lines. I'm not doing anything different. I just want to deepen that score line, soften the cardstock a little bit more, and that way when I go to fold on all of these score lines, my cardstock is going to be less likely to crack, and as well I'll get a nice crisp edge when I fold. And that's what you want with your boxes. You want nice, crisp, those nice, crisp 90-degree angles. So with everything all scored, folded, I can start to actually decorate all these panels. I do recommend adding all of your decorative papers when your pieces are all flat and unattached as they are currently. That way you can really burnish, and by burnish I mean just, really pressing down on top of each panel so that you try to knock all of the air out between the two pieces of paper. It really helps to make sure that your two pieces of paper are strongly and firmly attached. These first two pieces that I'm going to put together are the largest die. You just want to cut it twice. And I like to glue the long edge together, the side edge, and then just put glue on the little 1/4 inch or so glue tab. I do like to use a combination of dry adhesive and liquid adhesive, mostly because the dry adhesive will give me an instant grab, where the liquid adhesive will give me a permanent grab. And so the combination of the two lets me just continue putting everything together, but ultimately it'll still be really strong. Now at the bottom, you just fold in all of the tabs and you glue them together. Burnishing this part might get a little bit tricky, but if you have a long bone folder like I do here that has a flat edge, I would definitely recommend still trying to get something down in there to burnish all of those flaps down so that you make sure that your adhesive does make nice and firm contact. The papers that I'm using are from Graphic 45, and it's from the Little Ones collection. And it's got this lovely print here that has a lot of different postage stamp sort of designs. And it just so happens that there's a row of these that is pretty darn close to the height of the top portion, sort of like the lid of this box. So rather than using the dies that do come in this die set, because there is a die that will cut out all of your mats and layers. So you can cover every single side of this box, or choose to cover as few or as many as you like. So there is a die, and all of the mats are really great because they do have a stitched border design. So it's got that little bit of decorative touch to it. But these postage stamps, I feel it's a really tight fit, and it goes all the way to the edge. where the die that cuts the mats and layers, it will leave a little bit of your box base showing. So it just depends on the look that you want to create. But I didn't really want to cut into these postage stamps any more than I really needed to. So that's why I decided to just trim it down as opposed to using the die. But look at all the dies you get. You do get plenty of dies to cut all of your mats and layers. So don't worry if you don't want to trim anything by hand. You do have the dies, so you can always use those if you'd like. And so again, just making sure that I'm gonna attach everything while it's still flat. I was considering to add some decorative panels to the side of the box as well, but I decided against that. I want to keep this one pretty simple just so that you can see that it's pretty easy, can be very quick to put together. The other reason why I decided against decorating this all the way around is if you want to actually be able to tell which side is the front and which side is the back, you might want to intentionally only decorate one, the front half and not the back half of the box. So that, there might be a practical reason for not wanting to decorate all the way around, but that's totally up to you, and you'll have all of the dies that you need to do that. So I will cut myself a couple more mats and layers here. The unique thing, as I'm doing that, the unique thing about this die set, and the reason why it's called a pull-out gift box, is because the lid is going to have a piece that's attached to it that actually has two pockets at the bottom. So when you pull the lid off of the box, you're gonna pull out this entire sort of insert that has two box compartments, and that's what I'm working on here, where you can actually put a lot of different things in there. You can put all of the Pixi Dust Designs tags will fit into this box. It's been designed specifically so that if you wanted to put a bunch of tags in, you could definitely do that. And that would be a really great gift also. So imagine gifting to somebody a set of tags or two sets of tags, because these pockets are really generous in size. I would say that in total, the width of this box is going to be 1 inch sort of deep, and it's 3 inches wide, and it measures about 4¼ inches tall. So each of these boxes that I'm working on here is about 1/2 inch, maybe just shy of 1/2 inch deep. That's a lot of tags that you can put in there. But also imagine you could, if you wanted to, you could slip in here if you have kids that have school photos. You can always fit all of their school photos, like the wallet size photos would fit really beautifully in here. So that's another great gift idea too. If you know somebody who maybe has some kids about to go to school, 2.5 by 3.5 photos fit perfectly. 2 by 3 photos, very, very comfortably. So it's really fabulous, all the things that you can fit in here. And it becomes like a little bit of a trinket box, a little bit of a storage box, not just a gift box. So I think that's what's really, really fun about it. And it's such a unique design. Just the idea of having this insert that pulls out is really fabulous. So this middle portion here, that's the insert that I was talking about. And there is a hinge or a flap that you would glue to the inside sort of that lid. And I found that in retrospect, I think I've done this a couple times now. I've made a couple of these boxes, and I think it's actually a little bit easier to attach the bottom first. So these bottom two pockets, I would recommend attaching that first before attaching it to the whole mechanism to the top lid. And the reason is because it can be a little bit hard to get in there and burnish these the glue tabs on these pockets. And if you don't have that top of the lid attached, it's a little bit easier to kind of get in there and burnish. But look how this all fits so beautifully inside of the main box base. Really, really gorgeous. And this was that sheet of pattern paper that I mentioned that has all of the stamp designs. And what's really neat is that there's a row that's perfectly sized for the lid of the box, and then there's this row that's perfectly sized for the bottom two pockets. And there is a die, of course, if you didn't want to hand cut a piece, but these postage stamps fit so perfectly on the side here that, like I said before, I didn't want to die cut into it because it would actually remove that postage edge border. So it kind of like removes the whole effect, the whole look of the postage stamp. And so I just trimmed it just ever, so minimally in order to kind of preserve the design as much as possible. But I love that there is a die for you to die cut, and that way you can actually hide the seam on these two sides so that it just looks decorative as if it's one solid piece. And so it's a really, this whole box is a really clever bit of paper engineering, and everything fits very, very snugly. So everything's been so well designed to fit so perfectly together. So really, really fabulous. Here's a final look at the pull-out gift box. Really, really lovely, great size, perfect for gifting, tags for storing photos. You could imagine maybe if this was a gift, you could make a lot of photo mats and insert them, maybe one for each school age year, for example. And how perfect of a gift would that be? I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!